this thing on now?
Did you even share the link out?
I haven't shared the link out yet, but we are on. Hello and welcome to MechAniTuesdays.
We have returned.
Yeah, returned since we've been absent the last couple weeks.
Real life sucks.
Yeah, real life does suck. And yes, everyone, share the link. Yeah, I kind of Ubered up and took a nap because I've been tired today, and it's like, you're late. Oh,
Marky, what if we told you about your napping problem?
No, you want to hear something? So I decided, hey, I'm gonna take a nap. Well, no, I was gonna watch TV. I've been rewatching all the Oban Star Racer episodes, and I got to episode 20, and I fell asleep on the couch at 1 a.m. and proceeded to get woke up this morning by my fiance at 7 a.m. Now, everyone here's gonna wonder why. Well, Sparky, why is that an issue? Well, it's an issue because I've got to be at work at 7, and it's a 30-minute drive.
Oopsies.
Yep, I fucked up.
Yeah.
So,
which reminds me, before I forget to turn my alarm on, because otherwise, yeah.
So, how's everyone's week been?
Smashed.
Really? What? I didn't take you as a heavy drinker there, Starwin.
No. If you check Discord and video game chat, you can see what I've been doing the last week.
I even have to ask?
Yes, all 71 characters in Smash Brothers unlocked.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, he's addicted.
Damn, I'm not addicted. It's not like I'm playing it right this instant.
You're playing it right this instant.
I may or may not be doing Spirit Board right now.
Yeah.
He's playing it.
Yeah.
He's playing it.
Focus, goddammit. Focus.
It's called multitasking, Sparky. I can do that.
Oh, God. So let's go ahead and go through the roster. So how's everyone's last 2 or 3 or 4 weeks? Since the last time we've been on, how's everyone been? What have you been doing?
Been playing Borderlands. I'm very excited about the re-release of number 1 and 3.
I'm looking forward for 3.
Yeah, me too. Building models. I'm currently working on a guy from Universal Century.
Nice.
But what's interesting though is I don't think it's a Bandai actual. I think it's maybe a knockoff, because the plastic is of an entirely different consistency. Some of the molding leaves a little bit to be desired, and instead of being molded in color, parts of it are actually pre-painted.
That seems a little weird.
Yeah. But
the box look the same?
Huh?
Did the box look the same as the Bandai ones?
It looked very similar, but I thought it was just like a special edition kind of thing, and it may be, but the actual like I said, the plastic and everything like that, it doesn't meet typical Bandai standards.
I gotcha.
But he's still kind of cool because he's got the Gundam tricolor. He's all white with the blue and the red and everything. So it's like and even some of the stickers on it are for white or with white base markings.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what Gundam is it?
It's not a Gundam. It's actually a guy.
Little mole things. They look like little moles.
Yeah, it's one of the aquatics.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, Who's got the one hand is the claw, the other one has the missiles.
And it's round.
Yep.
Yep.
All
He's
right,
kind of got
that's
the little. He's got the like little snoot up front.
yeah. I recognize those from not actually from the show, but from Dynasty Warriors.
Gundam.
Yeah, that's where I recognize those from. But that's sad.
It's it's the basis for the Baragai from Build Fighters and such.
Ah,
All right. So, Starwind, you want to talk about?
the temple.
Well, talk about the temple.
You could do that.
And
It was for
no,
your technical benefit.
no, I'll talk about what happened to me today and 2 weeks ago because I need a vent about it. So I'll let you explain those two.
Aw. Well, you go ahead.
Temple?
Huh?
The temple?
Long story.
Yeah.
Long story. So I'll go ahead and go next. So for the last 2 weeks since I got back from Denton, Texas, I've been trying to get my Class B CDL. And holy fuck, is this a bunch of bullshit, penny ass, fucking rigmarole that anyone has to fucking go through just to be able to fucking go do the damn test. Jesus fuck.
Really?
All right, so I didn't know exactly what I needed. So I went down on my last day off before I went back to work because I took a entire week off after I got back from Texas. So I go down to the DMV just to, see what I might to have because you can't find anything reliable online. So I go down, wait 3 fucking hours and get in, and I get told this. Okay, so I had to have my birth certificate. I have to have a DOT physical. And for whatever god awful reason, they decided to tell me, hey, you also need to renew your license. Even though I still had 2 months left before I needed to fucking renew it, they told me that they wouldn't issue me the test unless I renew my license. Along with having, an article in mail that designates that I live where I live. Which that one was kind of an issue because I don't have a mailbox at my house. I have a P.O. box. So it's like, okay, I found a couple articles that had my mailing address on it. Okay. So I couldn't take the test that day. Went from there, got my license renewed. After that, went to go get my DOT physical done. Got my physical done. Found out I'm more blind in my left eye now than I was before 6 months ago. Oh well. And after that, I went to go find my birth certificate. I couldn't find it. And I had to go register and get a new one. And after fucking around online, going through a company called Vital Records, which, for FYI for anyone, if you're going to get a birth certificate, do not go through Vital Records at all. They are bullshit. So I go through and I fill out an application that's about 3 pages long. I go through and I pay $65. And I get a message back to me saying, your documents will be sent in 3 to 5 days. But also I had an error saying that I needed to contact them because they wouldn't accept a P.O. box. They would have to have a physical address. It's like, again, I don't have a mailbox at my house. I have a P.O. box.
Yeah.
So I called them up the next day while I'm at work. And come to find out, yeah, I had to have that. But also, I figured, okay, fill the application out, pay the money, and they'll send me a birth certificate. Oh, no. That's not how this works. with them. They send you another application, a physical one now, that you have to sign, which is about 5 or 6 pages, and you'll get that in 2 to 3 2 to 3 weeks. You'll get the application. And then once you get done filling all that out, there are several documents that you have to go get notarized at a notary of that state that you're getting the birth certificate from. Then you mail it back to them. And then lead time is 4 to 6 months minimum before you get your birth certificate.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, what? No, I ain't doing this shit. So pissed off, going around, talking to different people because, pissed off and shit. It's like, well, why don't you just go down to the health center or the health department? It's like, you were born in Missouri, weren't you? It's like, yeah. Go to the health department. Okay. It's worth a shot. I go down. I fill out a half a page of an application. I pay $30. 5 minutes later, I get my birth certificate sealed, signed, and ready to go. And got a second one for good measure.
Oh God.
Ta-da!
So yeah, and finally, after finding vital records for about a good week or two, I finally got my $65 back from them. But okay, so schedule everything up to go get my CDL test done. That was today. I go down, get in line, wait 2 hours, get brought in. Everything's good except for the proof of my residency. Apparently, it's got to be a utility bill that has my mailbox on it. It's like, I don't have a utility bill that has my mailbox on it. Well, and do you want to know what the retort was? Because I had articles of mail there. I had a box with the shipping label on it, and I had 3 pieces of mail. One was insurance for my work, and the other 2 were other things that had my mailing address on it. That they had my street address on it that they fucked up and should put my PO box on, but luckily the mailbox got it to me anyways because they know my name, and yeah, they won't accept it.
Good
So I had to turn
God.
around and drive all the way back home. I found a phone internet bill that has my PO box on it, but it has my 911 address on it. Turn around, go back up there because they said, well, if you can find something, we close at 4. Okay, I get back up there around 3 o'clock. Argue with them for about 5 minutes because it wasn't a mailing address that the 911 address was on. And it's like, look, it says right there, my 911 address. Da 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 da. And it's like, okay, right there it is. And it's like, well, it's not your mailing address. And we turn around, and they have a big old fucking poster on the bar, the wall. It says what they can take as an address for a proof of residence. Go to the wall, and it says nothing about mailing address on the utility bill. It says 911 address on the bill. So after showing them that and arguing them for another couple minutes, okay, fine, they'll accept it. Go through, we did this, do this, get everything set up, ready to go. And then I get told this. Well, we only got 30 minutes and you got about an hour's worth of testing. So you must come back another day to get your test done. And you must bring all this information back with you. Even though we had just filled out all the paperwork. You must come back again later. And they don't do this every day. They do it every week on Tuesday. Or I gotta go, another 30 miles the other direction because they'll be in the town on Thursday.
Yeah,
that sounds like that DMV.
I had never been through such bullshit trying to get something done. And the whole entire day, I felt like this.
Did anyone get the number of that bitch?
But now the important question is, did you get the number?
No.
Well, then there's more issues there.
Yeah, no shit.
So besides from that, I got some new equipment. I've got a new microscope that I finally got a camera for, and come to find out the camera sucks because it only captures 10% of the center of what I'm actually looking at.
Ew.
So the cheap microscope camera doesn't work. So I gotta buy the actual fucking good one. So I gotta wait some time to buy the $500 fucking camera for it. And I decided, hey, I'm gonna take a window out of my house and board it up and drywall it. So my computer room is a wreck in shambles with, drywall mud and drywall and carpentry tools and all that other good shit. So, yep, I've been busy.
Well, I hope it's going to be cleaned up by the time we start recording again.
No, it's gonna
It will
add.
be-
It adds atmosphere. What's wrong with you?
All right. It will be walkable.
Yeah,
by
I know.
that.
We're giving you shit. God.
Yeah, I know. It's
When's the last time we recorded something? I mean, in all, like legit seriousness, how long has it been?
Well, I mean, technically, if we're gonna go back to what I've been releasing, it's gonna be a while before we record anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be probably a couple months before we actually go to actually record something again. So
Okay.
we got time.
Yep.
We got time. So your turn, Solomon.
Yeah. So a while back, I told Sparky, "Hey, I believe I have a power glove sitting in my shed," and he's like, "Oh, cool, we can go get it." I was like, "Yeah, you don't quite understand the legitimacies of the issue here." He's like, "What do you mean?" For anybody not knowing, my backyard has bamboo in it. And I'm not talking about, like the little piece of bamboo you've got growing in your house. No, I'm talking about if you weren't paying attention out there, you might stumble upon a panda. I am not joking. All
right. So you can literally stand in the middle of his little bamboo field in the backyard of his house, and legitimately, you can close your eyes and open them, and close your eyes and open them, and it makes you feel like you're in the movie Predator.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it's like a Hong Kong action film in the backyard.
Yes.
Literally.
More like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
And machetes don't do anything for this shit.
I'll put it this way, KG. We've taken a chainsaw, a high-end chainsaw, to it. Broke the blades on it within 30 minutes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So Sparky, being the crafty bastard he is, he decides to bring, what was it, how big of that knife you brought?
It's an 8-inch cable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
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 Starwind, are you mute? Did you accidentally mute yourself?
No?
Oh, no, you read from the book.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, yeah, so I'm wearing one of my D&D shirts, which is fairly amusing. Sparky can tell you it's pretty fucking hilarious and appropriate for the character.
Definition of a tank.
Yeah. So we're going out there, and I trip and bust my ass. I probably have a 8-inch mark on my arm, my forearm. That looks like somebody just took a knife and went shh to it.
And it's from the bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is the type of bamboo that you can legitimately make punji sticks out of.
Aha.
So if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, we go to your place and start making fortifications.
Exactly.
Well, at his house, quite literally at his house, you can literally say you have the high ground because it's one of the highest places in the town.
Yep.
Equally nice.
Yep. And anyways, so we get out there, and there's no lock on our shed because the shed's been dilapidated, and you can see it from my room of the house that it's got holes in the side of the shed, and the roof's starting to cave in and everything.
Yeah, so
it looks like an actual temple.
Yeah, so for actual standpoints, so this is the kind of shed and kind of environment where you go, there's electronics out there. Ew, there was electronics out there. That's the kind of condition this shed's in.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, I opened the door, and just like I expected, there was maybe about 3-4 dozen brown recluse carcasses just lying around, just casually. So
It made you think of temples in Skyrim.
yeah,
Okay.
you expect a Druger to come rising up out of the corner any minute.
Either that or some other beast of the
Undead-
darkness looking
undead
up at you, going,
monster.
"What the fuck? Close the door."
Yeah, you're letting in the light. Stop it.
Yeah.
But no, then Sparky sees me do something completely out of character. I start climbing like a fucking billy goat. And it's the weirdest thing in the world to him, apparently.
No, it wasn't wood. It's okay. So this motherfucker here has a shorts on, a t-shirt on, and fucking flip flops, jumping around.
I prefer to call them
on mountains of fucking boxes and shit. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god, he's got to break his neck."
And long story short, after about 15 minutes of monkeying around in the literal sense, yeah, we couldn't find it. If it's in there, it's all the way in the back. But I did stumble upon a bunch of my old Pokemon cards. Still in perfect condition, by the way.
Out in the open.
Yeah.
Wow.
Along with the old original
The Electric Tales of Pikachu, 1 through 3. Or
Nice.
yeah, 1 through 3.
Yeah. All in good condition.
A little bit of fold damage is the only thing wrong with it. And that's just one of them.
That's impressive.
Yep.
And to give you some context about the bamboo intensity, yeah, some of it was about as thick as my forearm.
Jesus.
Ranging from an inch to 3 inches around.
Oh, there's some out there, I guarantee there are at least 6. I'll put it this way, KG. This is the type of bamboo you make fishing poles and bokudos out of.
Yeah, or
Flooring, actually.
or
You can make-
to beat people with.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Good grief.
Yeah, it was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, and then the day just got weirder with our freaking Easter D&D adventure. Oh no.
No, just the phrase Easter D&D adventure.
Easter D&D adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We had to kill a giant bunny kaiju. That is literally the long and short of it. 250 feet tall. 1 breath weapon. Chocolate fudge.
Oh my god.
Oh, it gets better. When we killed this motherfucker, the DM said, "All right, since I'm the only one with tailoring in the group, you don't get any armor class off of it, but if you make a cape out of it, it gives you 50 energy resistance to all elements."
Nice.
and that's
And it makes
plus
5 pounds of candy a day?
Yeah, that's plus 50, not 50%, plus 50.
Yes.
I
So we're
know.
like-
I'm fast forward back up to 5 pounds of candy a day.
Oh, yes. And my character's kind of a bit of an egg klepto, so he took some chocolate eggs. So now not only are we getting that, we're also getting chocolate dragon mounts.
It was a good day.
There's going to be a lot of diabetic characters.
Yeah, that joke's been made more than once.
My exact quote was, "I'm just glad my wife's not playing because this is like diabetes incarnate." And she
Wow.
fully agreed with me on that.
And speaking about diabetes incarnate, let's go ahead and move on to the subject of our show. Actually, legitimately got to talk about I.C.O incarnate today.
Yep.
So, KG, were you able to finish it?
Yeah, I finished it the first time we were planning on doing it. I
Okay, good.
watched it at work.
There you go.
Well, that's one hell of a job where you can watch a show at walk.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. It was glance. Okay, look busy. Glance, look busy. Glance, look busy.
It was still watching.
Yeah,
And yet, you're still probably the most productive one there.
I know it's scary.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get down to the basis of what I.C.O Incarnate is. So we talked a little about this a little bit on the just the random hangout episode that we did because we didn't have anything planned. But we pretty much almost went over the entire show, but we're gonna actually dedicate this episode to that just because. So the best way I can describe I.C.O Incarnate is if you took Bubblegum Crisis, The Blob, and some other tech. Well, I'll use Ghost in the Shell just for reference.
I would say that Ghost in the Shell would be an appropriate add-in, considering some of the topics that they touched on. Definitely was very Ghost in the Shell-esque.
Yep. So it's like you took those three different, those two shows and one movie, and you threw a polymerization down and you fused them together. Well, some of the worst. I wouldn't say voice acting because I don't want to blame the voice actor, because I did watch it in sub, and I mean, legitimately, they played how the main character was played. So, I mean, the dub actor did what she could to play the character. So I'm not gonna blame the dub actor for the way the character turned out.
No,
it wasn't the actor. It was definitely the writer.
Yeah. We'll get into that later.
And I actually have a couple theories on that too.
I probably will agree with you on some of this because I think I know where you gotta come from on it. Anyways, we start off with the show and the story behind it. So, you in the world there, the area that they're living in is part of Tokyo. I can't remember what is that part is. I want to say it's around like the Kyoto River or something like that. I want to say
it's near one of the main rivers.
Yeah, I want to say it's probably near one of those areas. But apparently there was an accident a couple years ago, and this thing called now I forgot what. The bus. That's what it was. Because they referred to it to a couple of different things. It's referred to as the bus, and the thing that's in the bus they refer to as malignant matter.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the reason why we said the Blob fits into this show so well, because I mean it's literally the fucking Blob. So, I mean, it acts the exact same way too, to a point. Only this stuff seems like it's more intelligent, which is scary to a point. So you saw up a show of these adventurers, and they're called
divers.
Divers, yeah. The divers are in trying to collect something. Their job is to go into the bust area and retrieve artifacts. Well, they're referred to as artifacts, but technology and things that were lost to the bust and all the towns that in places that was affected by this, and bring them back for research in order to figure out a way to stop the bust.
They're basically a relic hunting mercenary.
That's actually a really good way to put it.
Because as long as the cash is there, they're willing to do it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, some of the technology is actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
some of the concepts in this show It's real interesting. And this was one of those shows that I had to throw up in the air, and I put it to vote to everyone in here. It's like, could we consider this a mech anime? And for all essential aspects,
By our definition, we can.
Yeah, by definition, you can, because there's mechs, there's technology, there's a type of science, pseudoscience in this that makes it, techie. And it may not be like true up like Big O or anything like that, but it's got its place. And for the technology of what the bust is and how it comes around and the story that you learn from it, it's actually real interesting. And this is where the Ghost in the Shell / Bubblegum Crisis reference comes in. So we start off with that kind of aspect of, okay, this is what the show's going to be like. And it sells itself really fucking good on the beginning part of the first episode. It draws you into this is going to be a badass, awesome show because of the battle sequences and trying to battle the Malignant Matter. And that's actually what initially got me drawn in, because I've seen the trailers on Crunchyroll and a couple of different places on YouTube and different shows about I.C.O Incarnate. And it's like, that seems interesting. I want to see this because it just looked interesting. And when you get started in the show, it will draw you in if you're into that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
However, it then hits the brakes and waits there for a couple episodes before it picks back up again. And that's one of the things that kind of got me down, because it wasn't until, like, what was it, 4 episodes in until they finally started going back into the bus field.
Yeah, it was quick check. Yeah, I think about 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 episodes in. They finally go back in, and for all intents and purposes, it doesn't pick up like it, not even close to how it was until like midway through. It's a 13 episode show, so it's like episode 6 or 7 before you're finally back into the action you've seen in the beginning of the show. So it's a really slow pick up and build up to the show. But from there, we got our main character, I.C.O. And I.C.O is a cute little 16-year-old girl that is bound in a wheelchair because of an accident she had. And from there, it gets weird. And you want to go into it a little bit, because you said you had a couple theories on it?
Yeah, we're this will be delving into spoiler territory.
Yeah. Well, all of our shows are gonna be spoiler territory.
Yeah, but with the way that with the way that I.C.O is, the way she kind of behaves, how, as we have said before, she's 90% of her dialogue is repeating what people say.
So she's a parrot in disguise, is what we're saying.
Pretty much. But what? This is a what now? Yeah.
No,
she's
actually Navi in disguise. She's a tutorial fairy.
Yeah, it's like trees are a big plant that we can eat the fruit of. Trees are a big plant and we can eat them, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
and
all right. So I'm gonna just go. The dialogue, if it was every now and then, I could stand.
Yeah,
but it's
problem is it's constant.
Ugh.
And after watching it and thinking about it for several weeks, at the end we find out that the I.C.O that we've been cruising around with has been the fake one. She's in the real body, but because of the way that they manufactured her, the brain is actually a copy of the original I.C.O who's the cause of the burst.
Yeah, this is probably something we need to go into first before we go any further.
Well, here's my thing. Just to say it quick. When we meet Aiko, the one who was the cause of the burst, she's articulate. She knows what's going on. She's intelligent. She's got her shit together. She even, she knows what's going on around her. Which makes me think the reason why the Aiko we know and we're so annoyed with is because when she was saying, "Is this it? Is this it?" It's her artificial brain trying to really process what's going on. It's not that she's an idiot. It's that her brain hasn't encountered this before, and it was like trying to introduce me to like trigonometry. Wait, when did they put numbers and letters? What's this sign? Wait, can we go back? Can you explain that again? What's this again?
It's trying to explain D&D to somebody who's never played it.
Right. I think when you actually think about it, that it's less her just being an annoying, I'm an idiot. If you think about it in the form of after the fact, going back around, that it's her brain, it's new. It hasn't encountered all the stuff that the original has. It doesn't have all the same experiences. That it was her brain it was actually her honestly trying to understand what was going on.
And that's a good point, especially when you get down later into the show to where the real Aiko can actually see and actually had kind of like a, I guess you could say, telepathic link to the artificial one.
Yeah, it's like they knew of each other. There was a limited communications between each other, but there was not an actual copying of shared experiences between them.
Yeah. Well, it's more of a one way.
Yeah.
Because the artificial one didn't know anything about it.
Right.
The real one did. And that brings up a chance to circle back around and actually talk about why did this happen.
Yeah.
So the reason why the fake one was wheelchair bound is because she was in a major car accident that killed her father and injured her gravely, and she was on the verge of death. Well, her father worked for a specialized company, and they dealt with biomatter, a type of technology that they were developing, and they used it to help save her. And to get into this and a little bit more on the spoilers, her father and her family, along with anyone else that worked for this company, and you don't find this out till like later on the show, they all had clones of themselves.
Backups, basically.
Yeah.
Basically. But Aiko was the only one that they actually had a successful brain develop. The rest of them were just bodies. That was it. And it's weird that they don't really go full detail into why they did it, except for it was a company policy.
They were basically, what they were doing it was testing to see with the artificial, what is it they called it? The artificial organisms?
Yep.
How, like, for a body would it, how it would age and advance in comparison to the real one. That's why every year they would have you come back in and run tests on you to see how the development of your spare was going with your original.
Yeah. So after she got into the accident, the scientist, the doctor that was over this, developed something called cell builder. Cell builder 1, cell builder 2, and cell builder 3. You don't find out about cell builder 3 till like later on.
Yeah,
but
like the last 2 episodes.
So cell builder 1 was what they used to build the artificial bodies. Cell builder 2 is what they used to help repair real bodies with artificial organisms. And cell builder 3 is what they use to actually construct an artificial brain with. So
Yeah.
it's real unique science and technology.
If you think about it like this, like Cell Builder 2 would be akin to organic nanomachines.
Nanomachine.
Yes.
Nanomachines.
When did we slip into Solid Metal Gear Solid all of a sudden?
Oh, that's if you really want to spin it like this, most of the technologies that they used in this is microorganism based. So it'd be very easily to make the parallels between these pre-programmed microbes and actual nanomachines. The only difference is one is metallic and the other is organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is all organic based, which is actually, this is what makes it fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it brings a whole new it brings a light to a genre of bioengineering and biotechnology. Now, I'm tell a little bit about myself. Whenever I was in 4-H, one of the couple things I did was I was in a specialized division of 4-H in my group for state. And in the state, the group was about 20 different people, and there were all people selected from different groups that excelled in different things. Mine was technology and biodiversity, and one of the things I got to do was go to Ardmore, Oklahoma, to a place called the Noble Foundation. And down the Noble Foundation, they actually did a lot of genetic re-engineering experiments, and I got to see and actually partake in some of the things that they got to do down there. Like some of them was called plant splicing or gene splicing in the plants. So, and they had 3 or 4 different examples. One example was of a fern plant that they actually took the genes from a lightning bug. The gene that, yeah, for the most parts, and they crossed that with the plant. Well, with the plant just sitting there, nothing happened with it. But if you shine a black light on this plant, all the veins will light up brightly, and the leaves will have a faint glow to them. It almost looked like something from Avatar. And
Cool.
Granted, being this was 15 years ago. So
we need to keep this in the back of our mind. Sparky's actually a mad scientist.
Remember, if this kind of technology gets out there, heaven only knows what may happen.
Oh no, I'll go into that a little bit more because the protocols they had at this place was cool and scary at the same time. So another thing that they had was like a tomato plant that they were trying to figure out a way how to keep like deer, other animals from eating it. So they took like from a scorpion, the venom from a scorpion to tie into the plant to make the planets, to make deer not want to come near eat it. Bad thing is, I made the food poisonous too. But that's just some of the things that they did in this place.
You know what I just had jump into my mind, Sparky, when you said that?
What?
Attack of the Killer Tomato.
Tomatoes.
I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there, KG.
Yeah, at the moment you said attack, I'm like, I knew exactly where you were going with that.
But no, they brought out a couple different plants for example of what they did down there, and they had giant ass greenhouse that they had done all the experiments in, and they had all sorts of. We actually had to go through a clean room and all this other good stuff to go into the actual greenhouse, and this place had what was called an environmental deterrent system inside of it. Basically, the whole room would light up and incinerate itself if there was a breach to kill any fucking plant that was in there to prevent it from escaping.
Oh, I
In
guess
case-
that would be one way to make sure that Godzilla versus Biollante didn't come true.
Yeah.
But no, and they were telling us all this stuff. I was like, there was safety protocols that they had in place, because I guess if a certain light and tone code goes off, you had a minute to evacuate the room before it's sealed down shut. And once it's sealed down shut, it would incinerate itself.
Toasty.
Yeah, I mean, it was it's pretty cool.
Wolf.
And
That's all I can say.
one of the other things we got to do was forensics. So they gave it was all made up, but the actual testing results were the exact things that the forensic scientists did. So it's like, we have this sample here. This is from a killer. This is blood found in a crime scene. Presumably, it's the killer because it doesn't match the victim. This is the victim's blood, and we have 5 witnesses here. So it's like we have 3 different samples from the crime scene and 3 different samples from witnesses, and we had to go through the testing of the genetics for like putting it into the jelly, electrifying it, and going through and matching up the genomes on it to figure out, okay, who was the victim, who was, and which one of the suspects was the actual killer. All cool, fascinating stuff to walk with. So when it comes to this show, it's actually brought up a lot of cool memories I had back when I was 12, 13 years old.
Nice.
There you go.
And the pseudoscience behind it was, so I.C.O got into an accident, and the way they decided that they were going to save her was they were going to separate her brain from her body and put her real brain into this artificial body and this artificial brain into the real body, so they can walk on both. So the brain could focus on repairing itself without having her damaged body to worry about, and then they can actually help repair her body while the artificial brain was taken over.
Mhm.
And the trauma of this is what initiated the bust. So, and it's confusing as all fuck once it gets midway through, because then you don't know which way, you don't know what's what, because okay, she finds out she finds out that this happened because of a little tattoo in her eye, and it's a serial number of the artificial body. Well, the way they play off at the beginning of the show was it's her real brain in the artificial body.
Yeah.
And that they had to go to the center epicenter of the bust because the start of the bust was her what was it? It was her real body and the artificial brain that triggered it and caused this.
Right.
And that's the way they played off at first. So they gotta go and stop this. Later on, we find out, no, that's not the case. It's actually the real body with the artificial brain in it.
And what caused the burst was the real brain in the fake body.
Yeah. The fake body, the artificial body had a reaction to the trauma of the surgery, and that's how the bust happened. Well, one of the ways to kill the mood and and to basically shoot the plan in the foot is to tell them the only way to stop the bust is to kill the artificial brain that is causing the bust, and to come to find out that you're with the people that are going to go kill the artificial brain, and you find out You are the artificial brain.
Uh-oh.
Yep. The marking on the eye actually was tied to the brain, showing that it was artificial, not that the body was artificial.
Yeah, because the retina is part of the brain.
It's the brain serial code, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about the whole deal is she's indestructible, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you can have somebody go after you with a K-bar and the K-bar fucking shatters when they slash it across your face, yeah, that's badass.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know it. She doesn't know about it. And that's how they explain to her, hey, yeah, your body's artificial. Well, it was the real body. And that has to do with Cell Builder 2. Because they use Cell Builder 2 to help repair her real body.
Nanomachines.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Titanium nanomachines.
The bad thing is, this is one of those animes. It's good and it's bad. They have a lot of relevant information that makes up a good scenario to a story.
Mm-hmm.
The bad thing about the story is it's all jam packed too tightly with each other and it's told too fast in order to really make sense of that information. So it hurts itself with it.
Basically, they just plot dump after plot dump, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't like a lot of it wasn't really put through like, okay, this episode this happens, this episode this happens. It's like, okay, this is going on. Oh, by the way, okay, she did this. Wow, that's neat. Okay, moving on. And then it was like the last few
there, and they don't explain how she did it.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's blammo. Here's your War and Peace explanation in 2 30-minute episodes. Congratulations.
Take this, it might be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really is an interesting concept, and that's one of the reasons why I like the show. But it's just so much to take in. You have to watch it 2 or 3 times and know what to look for and listen for in order to make sense of the story. The story does make sense.
Is it me or have we had? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sparky. Is it me or have we been having this little run of animes you have to watch multiple times in order to pick everything up? Because I'm feeling we've had this conversation a couple times.
Well, a lot of shows are like that.
Yeah.
It really are. It's just this one really is like that. I mean, a lot of them you can get the. All right, so I'll bring up Toradora again. So Toradora is a good show. It's a rom-com. It's a fun little show of anime, and you can watch it once and pretty much get the concept of the story. You don't have to watch it again. But it's one of those shows, if you watch it again, a lot of things make sense when the show's from the start to the end. You'll notice something in the show that seems, it doesn't seem nuanced to what's happening. It's like, okay, it's just conversation, or it's not relevant, it's just filler. When it turns out it's actually not filler, they were elaborating on something else that's going to be revealed later on down the road. You just don't realize it yet. And you realize that if you watch the show again. But this show ain't like that. This show is you have to watch it multiple times in order to get all the concepts, unless you're just like Tyro and take notes consistently as you're watching the show. So yeah, it depends. Yeah. It depends on your definition of it. This is the bad kind. When you have to watch a show multiple times in order to get the plot and get the story, it doesn't make for a good show.
Yeah, because for the most part, I'm like, all right, I'm following this. This is what's going on, and then it's like, okay, now we're bringing in this guy and this character, and you're like, okay. That's kind of out of the blue. And then this guy shows up who's important, but they never make any reference to him prior. And then this happens, which makes you go, what? If it was a longer series, maybe double the size, then
If it
and
was,
had
yeah,
chance to actually explain everything, it would have made for a lot better story.
yes, and that's actually something I'll agree with. If it was like a 25 episode running, and they had a chance to put more thought, cohesion, and general placement of events of happening, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
I will agree with you on that one.
Because for the time frame, a lot of things felt very rushed. I mean, you've got you have two characters that have worked together and everything, clearly have, a history together, but only thing you find out is like, yeah, we were with the special forces. Okay. Why are you two still, what's with this romantic thing that the two you're kind of hiding? But don't get anything on it because one of them dies. You have one of the guys, one of the divers who, shocker, I know, falls for the main character. And it's like, dude, this was like less than a day ago, okay? And you're willing to let everything go to hell for a gal you barely, I'm a romantic, but come the fuck on.
Hey. He's probably got a soft spot in the heart for the cute ditzy type.
Yeah, some would say
Literally.
the same thing, but I don't have any more cats around here, and they're cute and ditzy.
And then you have another character, which he's all knowing and he's able to do a lot of things. Like one of the special things that he knows how to do is he knows how to make these special cartridges that's needed for battling the malignant matter. Because shocker, I should put this reference in there too. The malignant matter is also like the fucking Borg. You can only shoot at it a couple times before they adapt, and you gotta change the fucking cartridges up in order to battle them.
Mm-hmm.
In order to do it, you gotta take samples from the malignant matter.
Adaptive immunity is a bitch.
Yes, and they have to do it on the fly. He's able to do it on the fly. One of the other guys has a fake arm that gets ripped off, and he makes a new synthetic arm right there because of the synthetic technology that they have. And he's able to do this, and he's a high school student. And come to find out, oh, he's the brain of a scientist that's been transplanted in one of the artificial bodies that they had on storage.
Yeah, like the first one. That was basically just a shell.
Yeah. And then you have, I think 3 or 4 of the other characters, the other divers, that are just, there's no real backstory to them except for they're the type that will do anything for money, and they have a working history with some of the other people. And there's what I would call it standing bodies.
Yeah. The two groups, of course, 2 male, 2 female. They have this rivalry between the two of them. And there's a lot of stuff to a lot of plot points and all sorts of things to work off of that just didn't happen.
It happened on some of them, but a lot of them they didn't go in depth on, and some of them just flat out got dropped. Like one of them was the detective or the special investigator, I think, that went after him. They were building up kind of a oh my god, this is gonna be a central turning point character. This character is going to have some sort of relevance, and they get up to him and they finally meet up, and then she gets ate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
head of the Black Ops team.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they put a lot of emphasis on this character, and whenever this character finally meets up with the group, because they only meet up once and then they narrowly escape, and they sell this up. Oh, they're going after him now. They probably meet up with him for about 5 minutes, and then they get ate.
Yeah. And it wasn't even, she went out like a total bitch, as in, okay, she's here and she's gone.
Nyum.
Yeah. And it was it's attracted to the lights. Well, we'll just turn our lights off. And it's like, what? You guys couldn't have thought of something else, like, I don't know, the exhaust from the walkers of the enemy, was attracting them. There's a lot of things they could have done.
Yeah, and then they add in a protagonist 3/4 of the way through.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that really kind of set me off on is, okay, so they put in a protagonist to go out to the main characters and then kill that protagonist off, and then
I mean,
out of the
antagonist.
red or blue put in another protagonist.
Sparky,
What?
I don't mean to correct you, but you're wanting antagonist, not
Antagonist.
protagonist.
Sorry, I'm tired.
I'm with you, bro. I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, antagonist. Antagonist. And they just, it's like, there's an open spot here, and they just took some paint and put that. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, they shoehorn. Thank you. Him and his story, and it was like,
on top of everything else.
Yeah. So now you've got this going on here. You got this guy doing this, and it's like, guys, how many more tentacles are you going to put on this hentai monster? Okay, I mean, Jesus Christ, fuck us later.
Yes, yeah, that's actually really appropriate.
What's that?
So, I said, at least take us out to dinner first. God.
Yeah, no shit. Give me a reach around or something, because there was a lot going on, and I'm usually pretty good at following these things, but it started getting to the point that even I'm like, who, what, where? Okay, this guy's a what? Hey, casual, how's it going?
Hey, man.
I mean, it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and to go back through, okay, so we got told one thing whenever the story.
Oh, we got Tyro in chat.
Hey, Tyro.
That's actually what we're talking about right now, and spoilers. We're all talking a little bit about spoilers. But since you came in here, we'll give you the option if you want to leave. But it's a 13-episode run. It's like a mix of Ghost in the Shell, The Blob, Star Trek, the Borg from Star Trek, and what was the other one?
Bubblegum Crisis.
Bubblegum Crisis. It's like a fusion of those four. It's a good show.
Yeah, Tyro, to kind of give you a rundown, it is worth a watch if you can, filter out. And from what I've heard, you're a man of details, so you might be able to get it on the first time through. There's a lot of shit going on, but
in a short time span.
Yeah, in a short time span. So be sure to wear goggles because there is a lot of loose ends flying around.
Yes. And fusion in a good way. So the main thing that everyone's fighting is called the Bust, which is like the Blob. It's just a bunch of molecular living organisms, artificial organisms. It's like the Borg because you can only fight it for a certain amount of time, and then it adapts to whatever it's being fought against, and then you gotta come up with new ways to go against it because the way you were going up against it, they become immune to. Mm-hmm. It's like Bubblegum Crisis because of the fact the mechas, the hard suits that the divers go into the bus to fight them, kind of reminds you of, you know, the hard suits from Bubblegum Crisis to a point. And it's like Ghost in the Shell because of the story, because it goes behind the story of Aiko and what's happened to her. And it's all tied to Aiko in some way. So everything that's happened is tied to her in some way, shape, or form. The problem is when you sort out, you're told one thing, then it changes it a quarter way through, then it changes again halfway through. You come across one antagonist at the beginning of the story. That antagonist gets ixnayed, and then they add one in from out of the fucking blue. And then they change the story again, and then the ending. So
It's
don't work your brain too hard trying to figure out the first way time through.
yeah.
Yes, it is kind of a oof.
It is a good watch. Like some of the technical
it's not a Gynax ending.
Yeah.
It's actually really the ending of the show I agree with. And I know Gen Max would go, well, it seems like it's a force happy ending. It's what you would say, I believe, to the whole thing. It's a force happy ending because of things that happen. I'm not gonna reveal to you. Well, we're gonna reveal later on how the ending is, but I won't do it for you right now. But there's just so much stuff that goes on. It's hard to keep up with it. Because, so we're going to get into the second antagonist now. So the second antagonist was one of the scientists in the hospital helping Aiko out. And his daughter is in a coma. And his daughter's in a coma because of the bust. Yes, I am looking forward to that. And it's going to be a good episode, Tyro. And from the trailers that I've seen of it, that T-Rex is a tank. Okay, so I'm gonna drop. Tyro, do you want in? We can segue a little bit.
Yeah. You guys have got me for another half hour before I gotta crash out because I gotta be up by 6.
Ditto.
Yeah, same here. So I'll shoot you a link to the hangout if you want in. Okay. All right, so
long story short, Tyro, it is worth the watch. The animation is great. A lot of the concepts and everything that they throw out there are really interesting.
Yep.
And bye.
Later.
Yeah, he just gone. Well, and Tyro, one thing I'll tell you about the main character, Aiko, and I'll tell it in the way Lo-Fi would say it. The main character is annoying as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best way I can put it in Lo-Fi terms. The main character is annoying as fuck. But there's a reason why she's annoying as fuck, and you'll find that out once you
watch it.
Yeah, once you get, through 3/4 of the show.
Or anyway, if you just rewind the video and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, that too.
Because like I said, that is the only way my mind can process the reason for her being that ditzy and annoying. Yeah. And not be blonde.
And it's a good analogy. It really is.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the only thing I could think of.
So on to the second antagonist that we were talking about. So the scientist's daughter was in a coma because of the bust, and she's hooked up to a specialized machine, and somehow ends up becoming connected to the bust. Now, you'll find out 3/4 of the way, almost to the end through the show. Actually, you find out at the end of the show that the reason the bus is expanding and doing what it's doing isn't entirely because of I.C.O. I.C.O. is actually stopping it.
Yeah.
It's this guy's daughter that's hooked up to the machine because apparently her mind is wandering around in the bus field. And it's because of her mind running around in the bus field, the reason why it becomes active in the bus field.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's one of those situations where if you want to talk about a out of body experience, that is literally what is happening to this poor girl.
And it is. And come to find out, so her dad's going to do anything she can to save her daughter. And that's even capture I.C.O., sacrifice her so he can study her to help save his daughter. And he ends up getting hooked up to the same kind of machine she's hooked up with, and actually takes control of the bus and fights them in some sort of weird ass fucking manner at the end of the show.
Yeah, you could actually tell which of the malignant matter was his versus I.C.O.'s by the color.
Yeah. And it's I'll bring I.C.O. up again because when this happens, I'll admit she steps up.
Yeah.
She steps up to the plate when this happens. But to kind of fill out the overall ending, and what could have stopped this from the very fucking beginning was unhook his daughter from this machine.
Mhm.
That would have stopped everything.
I mean, this is mad scientist logic. Of course, they're not going to do the most simple thing.
Literally, that's how they stop it. Is they unhook his daughter from this machine, and she wakes up afterwards, and the malignant matter goes back under control.
Yeah, they cut her ties because she apparently had several backup bodies, and mentally she was still kind of tied to those, and that's why she was running around and the matter was being all weird, was because she was trying to find the right body to go to. And by disconnecting her from the bodies and then shutting down the machine, it funneled her into her real body and she was allowed to wake up.
But when it goes back down, it's like you can tell which matter was being controlled. So the bright red one was the one I.C.O. was controlling, and that was the ones that were dormant. The purplish blue, the purplish ones, the reddish purplish ones are the ones being controlled by this other girl. And then the blue ones were the ones being controlled by the scientist.
Wasn't his the more purple of the two? I thought hers was the blue, because she discovered that the boy was the doctor, and she was kind of a blue color when she was holding him.
No, you're right on it. You're right on it. It's been about 2 months since I last watched the show, and it's one of the two colors. I know that much.
Yeah, we're basically just arguing semantics.
Yeah, so I mean, you can tell which ones were which.
Yeah,
and it was after what we were talking about. The one of the main characters. Yeah, it was after one of the main characters died. I.C.O. steps up.
Yeah.
I mean, she steps up, and she gets the inner bitch out.
Yeah, she pulled a John Woo on those suckers. She just grabbed a couple of weapons and was like, all right, here we go.
And goes to town. And I gotta say, it was one of the best moments of anime I like to see, because the whole entire time she's being annoying. She wants to help out, but doesn't know how. And feels like she's a burden, and she's just annoying everyone, which, she was.
Yeah, but on that same note, she was wanting to help. She even said, let me do something. And the response from the guy was simply, no, you stay put.
But she does end up becoming help because she ends up figuring out she has a connection, and she ends up using that connection to help them out because she can sense when the matter's gonna form and what's gonna come from, and she was pointing out, okay, it's gonna appear there, it's gonna appear there, it's gonna appear there. So
yeah, she basically became their living radar.
yeah, and then she ends up getting into the. I'll let you talk about the Walker because I know you like it. I know you like the tank.
The beetle.
Yeah, the beetle.
Fucking love the beetle. Okay, the beetle was basically a multi-limbed mobile tank / base. It had the pilot.
You can
and
call it a bigger version of the
the
Tachikoma.
Tachikomas. Yeah.
I was just about to ask that.
Then again, I think it was one of the two of you who said that the guy, the mecha designer for Ghost in the Shell was the same guy as the one who did
It was.
these.
Yeah.
And which you could clearly see in the machines. The bipods looked very Ghost in the Shell, and so did the beetle. But the pods could attach themselves to the beetle, and they could actually have, and the pilots could have a clean to clean entrance to the beetle, because apparently around the burst and the matter and everything like that was not healthy for people to be breathing.
Clearly.
But yeah, it was the beetle was just badass because, like I said, it was a mobile base that also had the same kind of vibe of like a tank and a mobile lab to it. It all the comforts of home in this bright yellow laser gun equipped all-terrain vehicle.
It was badass.
I would have no problems moving into one of those and calling it home. Then again, with the laser cannon, I wouldn't have to worry about traffic that much either.
It's like, I'm away, bitches.
I'm late for work. Cathud, cathud. Yeah, I'm going to show you some freaking malignant matter. You in the pickup. Get out of my way.
Yeah. All in all, I mean, I think we haven't done this subject on. It's an interesting show with just too much in it in too short of a time.
Yeah.
And it's because they tried to cram all these good aspects of a show. And like I said, each one of these plots individually is enough to make a cohesive, story out of it. The problem is they took each one of these plot points and crushed them all together within a 13 episode show. And it's trying to do too much in too short of a time. That is the show's real downfall right there. It's too fast paced to keep up with everything that's going on.
Well,
And
I wouldn't even call it fast paced because, the parts that were kind of quote unquote fast paced, were like the action scenes and so forth. It's when you started getting down to the over techno babble, and then it's basically when the high speed, this is awesome, stopped, and that's when shit started getting overly convoluted.
yes, like the whole thing with the guy that falls for A.I.C.O.
Yeah.
And that's all because in episode 1, when you're watching the opening scene, he ends up getting grabbed by the malignant matter, and whenever he gets grabbed by the malignant matter, he has these memories flow into him from the matter, which is actually from A.I.C.O.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like time. They don't say how much time has passed from that point to where the story actually picks up. It's been some time. And it's from that point to when he meets A.I.C.O. to when he realizes the person that he was seeing memories of was Aiko. And that's when he falls for her. Because he's seen her, he's basically had a memory dump put in his fucking brain from her. So I can see why he kind of fell for her.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. But it
So-
wasn't one of those things that was very well, like a lot of the story wasn't really well. God damn it! I'm not Englishing right now.
Wasn't well oriented.
Yeah, it wasn't really well. The story portion of that wasn't really well told. It wasn't vocalized very well. That's what I was trying to say. But
yeah,
there's a lot of that fit that same mold. Was okay. You have a good basis here. You have a good concept, and you kind of jumped in with both feet when you're in a kiddie wading pool. No wonder your knees are up into your throat. Okay, this was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's another point I was gonna make. I just totally spaced.
Sorry, my ramblings probably did that.
No, it wasn't as I got to thinking about something else and I completely forgot what I was gonna talk about.
But they have a good foundation that if they were to do something like Hellsing or some of these others that they've gone, these other animes where they've gone back to and done the first attempt was kind of it was good, but it could have been better. Fine, give us a little bit more details on the divers, especially the 4 that ended up in the show. What's up with them?
Yeah, kind of like an offshoot OVA, just kind of back
side story.
Yeah,
kind of like what they did with yeah, and this anime is so fucking bad that I keep forgetting the fucking name on it. Sokano. It's kind of like what they did with Saikano. Was they had the main story, and then they went back and they told it from a different perspective.
They did something like that with 80 Police leading into Bubblegum Crisis.
Yeah,
and then from Crisis to Crash. They have a very interesting world built, especially when they actually start talking about how, oh yeah, these artificial organisms are now a thing all over the world.
Oh, and we forgot to talk about one thing. That's what I was going to bring up. The little pet,
Gummy.
We
I
forgot about Gummy.
Yes.
I'll let you talk about Gummy because I know. I think you rambled on about him last time about 20 minutes.
I loved Gummy. Gummy was right before the accident that took her father. Aiko's father gave her a birthday gift that she opened up, and it was this little crystal-looking sphere. And when she leaves the hotel, the hospital, to go back home to collect some of her things, because now she's walking again, she finds it and takes it back with her. Fast forward a few episodes, and the sphere falls out and hits some electrical cables that activates it. And turns out you have this little, what would you call him? I mean, almost like this cute little blue gummy gerbil looking thing.
All right, so it basically looks like the slime from that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Minus all the boobs around it.
Minus all the boobs around it. But it acts the same way as that thing does. It adapts to its surroundings.
And but it usually stays in that kind of cute little animal form.
Mhm.
Um,
I can't believe we forgot to talk about it because it's actually the turning point that actually determines the ending for the show.
I was actually getting to that.
Yeah.
Reason he's named Gummy is because one of the characters says that he looks like those gummy candies. So that'll give you an idea of what he looks like and his consistency. I still can't hear his name without thinking about Pinkie Pie's toothless alligator.
For some reason, Gummy Bear's song gets stuck in my head.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Gummy Bears.
Oh my god. We are the gummy
I
bears.
think that's the joke I made the last time we talked about this.
It is.
Yeah.
It gets stuck in your head. It's like I hear Gummy, and all of a sudden the fucking theme song, fucking the Gummy Bears Disney show comes in my head. It's like, no.
Yeah.
What have we
Or the old Saturday morning cartoon.
I was gonna say, Sparky, what have we talked about having a high will save here?
Apparently that doesn't fly with gummy bears.
Do not listen to the song Lucky Star.
I keep telling you, I'm immune to mind affecting techniques.
Yeah, never listen to that song because once it gets in your head, it takes at least a day for it to get out of your fucking head.
Loving you is easy because you're beautiful.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's just it's
okay.
I'll show you after the show.
Oh god.
Do.
No,
Anyway.
And then the cowboys up.
I'll show you after the show. I'll show you the song after the show.
Okay. But Gummy was actually made by her father and the company that he works for, and is a fully artificially created pet. Which is very, 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 very rare. But as Sparky alluded to, you see him, you think he's like just this cute little pet kind of thing, just this little MacGuffin, doesn't really mean much. But like he says, is he actually brings on the happy ending. Because at one point in time, he actually, encases A.I.C.O in himself to protect her. Well, it turns out when he did that, he also copied her DNA.
Basically, her body structure.
Yep. So at the end, when A.I.C.O, the fake A.I.C.O has done the real A.I.C.O has to survive. And actually is, she mans up, but she does what she feels is right, and sacrifices and is going to sacrifice herself to save the original, because the original one is starting to basically unspool. She's not going to survive much longer,
and it's so self-sacrifice in the show.
Mm-hmm.
No one can decide who's got to jump off the fucking cliff to sacrifice themselves. That's the one thing I can say in the shows. Nobody can decide on who's going to eat the fucking magic bullet.
Okay, so it's not like Halo Reach where everybody's basically jumping off the cliff all at once saying, I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to do it.
No,
it's so the real A.I.C.O wants the artificial A.I.C.O to survive. Only thing she's worried about is saving her family.
Yep.
And since she's been so disconnected and stuff like that, she feels like she'll be robbing the artificial A.I.C.O of the life that she has built just so she could be saved. But the artificial A.I.C.O wants to save the real A.I.C.O because she feels guilty for taking her life. So it's one of those weird catch-22s, and they end up doing the surgery, and they swap the brain, and that whole scene right there. It's like, okay, so imagine this. You're in a room filled with malignant matter everywhere. You got a full-on firefight with these little, well, not little, but these gigantic ass fucking slime monsters attacking everywhere. Was somebody doing literal brain surgery to two females? Well, this is all going on all around.
Yeah,
in a matter of
not even
minutes.
Dude's got
not
a
even brain
hell of a
surgery. We are talking literal brain transplants.
Again, the dude's got a hell of a concentration check.
Oh yeah. This guy, I mean, he is focused.
Yeah, now it's not literal. It's weird because it's all done within the cell maker 2 fluid solution, and it's weird on how it walks. It's interesting as hell. It's cool as hell to see it, but it's the science behind it's not really explained. It's just
I can explain it like this: nanomachines.
Yeah,
Some magic occurred. There's bio nanomachines involved.
Back in tanks involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there you go.
So, all right. Afterwards, the real I.C.O and the artificial I.C.O have got their respective bodies back. And the real I.C.O is walking around and she's, getting a feel for everything again. And then it's actually heartbreaking. It really is. Because afterwards, you actually see the state the artificial I.C.O is in. And I can say this much. It actually looks worse than the ending to Akira.
Yeah.
That's
you got to think, her body is basically all this malignant matter.
Yeah.
Basically, the only thing you see like a head come down, and it's I.C.O's head attached to the rest of this, and she laments herself to her fate that this is going to happen, and then she kind of resorts back into the body, and you think that's it, and then all of a sudden something gets sped out.
Yeah,
and then
like this weird cocoon kind of thing.
And then it starts forming and opens up, and there's the artificial I.C.O.
And
body and faints just fine.
Yeah, and there's this blue shit around her.
And then reforms into gummy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically how the scientist, I can't remember the guy's name now. Basically how the scientist in the show puts it, the malignant matter was able to copy her genetic structure to reform her body from gummy. So basically, then everyone gets a happy end, except for one person.
Yeah, the guy who was introduced 3/4 of the way through the fucking show
as the second antagonist.
Yeah, he's basically...
Is he bloody, violent, and gruesome?
His brain is gone. He's in a coma.
Aww.
So his daughter wakes up from a coma just for daddy to replace her.
Which, I mean, it's...
He did kind of... When he's plugged into the machine, he was losing his shit. He was going Cocoa for Cuckoo Puffs real quick.
And whenever it got disconnected, it fried his brain.
Yeah.
And in one hand, it's in there going, well, you kind of got what you deserved, you son of a bitch, because, I mean, he really made you hate him.
Yeah.
He really did make you hate him. But at the end of the day, he was doing this because he didn't see any other way to save his daughter. And whenever you see the outcome of, okay, this is how they saved his daughter, and this is what happened to him, you got to go to yourself, it is kind of unfairly dished upon him.
Yeah.
It really is. So, in one part, you can say he kind of got what he deserved, but another part, he kind of really didn't deserve it. So it's one of those weird catch-22s with the character.
Yeah, the one thing that was, you really didn't get it. I mean, you saw the reason why he was doing it. He was trying to save his daughter. They drove that shit home. But and the fact that he went into the coma, she came out, was kind of an ironic situation. But you could clearly tell that they were trying to make him a sympathetic, nemesis.
Only problem is they put him in 3/4 of the way in.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Thanos where you're sitting there and you're spending time watching him and you're like, okay, I can kind of see what this guy's coming from.
Yeah.
No, this was
dropped out of the blue. Hey, I'm the new bad guy. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, I know it's character, the bad guy of the week, and it's Friday, and I should have been here Tuesday, but I'm here now. His whole plot line had a lot. Again, like everything else about the show, it had a lot of potential, but they kind of whizzed it down their leg.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, if you're looking for a show that has, kind of a action theme to it with a lot of weird shit going on, this is the show for you. If you're looking for a good cohesive story that's not going to give you a headache about watching it,
this ain't it.
This is not it. But if you are interested in shows and want to dissect them and try to figure out, oh, well, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? You might get into it.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would, to give it a rating scale, that's actually one thing we need to do here. So we need to make some sort of rating scale to don't watch it to watch it. I think we need to work on something like that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it at about a 4. Because
that's fair.
The story was subpar, but what it made up for was the action sequences. The level of the animation was great. The first few episodes sucked you in, and then it kind of petered out.
Start. It was a slow start, then kicked in, and then petered out, then kicked back in.
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster in that regards. I wouldn't give it too much lower because, like I said, it was just the story it had a lot of potential. It was probably one of those situations that they were told, okay, you've got 13 episodes and that's it, or 12 episodes and that's it.
Yeah, I didn't even see if this was a manga or anything like that, a light novel. I didn't even do any research to check that out, and that's actually kind of how uninterested I got into the story. Was I figured out enough by watching anime, and I just didn't think that going through and looking at the manga and the light novel was going to fill anything in. And I might actually go back and look at that. I might change my decision later on that. But as of right now, it's like I'm just not interested in finding anything else out about it. I kind of got my feel for the show. Yeah. And like I said, I wasn't too disappointed with it, but it's also one of those ones that I wasn't on it trying to watch every freaking episode to get I want more. It's just there's nothing else doing. I'll finish this up.
This is the kind of way that I judge most things. And being the two of you are gamers, you'll pick up on what I'm saying. If this was a book and they said, here is an RPG for you, is it something I would play? Would I play in this universe? Yes. Would I go solely off of what the anime said? No, I would not.
That's probably an interesting concept, and yeah, I can see it. If I had a chance to play or participate in a role like this, I would, because there's a lot of interesting things. And actually, I could see a game being made out of this and actually be a real fun game.
Yeah.
But
it's
with
like
the
if
current
you're
stories
part
right
of
now.
Yeah, if you're part of the divers, that was an extremely cool concept. But as for the, following the actual storyline, no, I would throw that out of the window in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Or at least
Why
reconstitute
RPGs
it.
have side quests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, it probably would do the show justice for a reboot or a reconstitution of itself. Reorganizing it. It'll make the show a lot better if they did that. But yeah, it's giving it a 4 out of 10. It's a fair rating for it.
Yeah, it's not like Big O. That would be like a 9 out of 10. And the only reason I don't go higher is because the second season was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually one of the Big O is one of those ones that you gotta read the manga, and I've actually gotta get down to read it because it expands further, and it's a lot different. Like I said, it comes back to the same point I say with all shows made around like the late 90s, early 2000s to mid 2000s. They have a lot of good potentials for shows and mangas because the manga hits the story spot on, like with Full Metal Alchemist, with the couple Chibi Vampire, which Chibi Vampire, the anime for it's called Karen. Excuse me, I had to think about that one for a second. I mean, the manga's good. The anime sucks. The only show I can't say that for is Eureka 7. The manga sucked. Show was good. So Big O is kind of like that. It was a good manga. They went through. They had a lot of potential story points. It completed the story from what I can tell. They just didn't follow through in the show. They just found a place that ended it because I think they were actually suffering from the studio that was making it was suffering from a budget issue, and they did everything they could to bring out a second season because fans wanted it and did what they could with what they had. So that's the reason why the ending a bit ago felt like it was rushed and it just kind of had a.
Yeah, that'd be another one if they were to redo it. Would be like fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it would. But I don't
saying think something about A.I.C.O that we're talking about Big O as we're wrapping up and not talking about it.
Yeah, it's all the shows have a way of interacting with each other. So I mean, there's different aspects to it.
Yeah.
So with that, we are gonna wrap up because it is 11:39 here, and everyone's got walk in the morning. Real life sucks.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
God damn it.
So with that, I have a really interesting idea. And I want you to tell me if this is going to be good for you guys. I want to try to tie in one anime watch club with MechAniTuesdays, and I want to see how it goes. And we'll be able to do it with this title because technically there's only 4 movies, but the one we're going to talk about is the first one. So how's everyone feel about doing Project A.I.C.O?
Oh, hell yeah.
And I figured we'll do it in 2 parts. We'll do a anime watch club. And we'll do an anime watch club style probably sometime this week. And we'll all get on the rabbit and we'll all watch this movie. And we'll commentate over it. And I'll probably upload this one this Tuesday. And then the next Tuesday, we'll do an actual Mechanic Tuesdays episode talking about it.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. What day did you have in mind?
How about Saturday?
This weekend I'm going to be out of town, and for the first part of Saturday we have physical inventory.
Oh, it's all good. We could do it on Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, okay, tomorrow I have a date, and Friday
Ooh, KG.
Shh. And Friday I'm doing I'm playing Raft with Manga Minx.
Oh God, Raft.
Oh, you're going back on? Oh, cool.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we tried it a couple weeks ago, and a couple weeks ago, and oh my god, that shark loved me to the tune of I would jump in the water and swim away from the stuff so Minx could grab it.
You were shark.
No. Time out.
Yeah, hoo ha ha.
What? No, time out. When you said that, instantly what popped in my head was Bill Engvall's drinking a Bahama Mama on the beach and going parasailing.
Half a
and,
Vicodin of
there's
a
a
Bahama.
shark! There's a shark there in the water! Come to me. Means I want to have a spicy
Half a
pussy.
Vicodin and a Bahama Mama makes for a bitchin' day.
That scene popped in my head when you said that. I was like, okay, there we go. I'm done.
Yep.
You gotta bring that reference. Oh no, that's right. You guys already recorded. I forgot. She doesn't. They don't live stream, do they?
Who?
Minx.
Actually, they do. They do on Twitch. Most of the week.
Well, I'm talking about like the episodes of. I'm guessing it's the patron stream that they do with people, or the patron recordings, or I'm not quite sure how they do that with you.
Actually,
Patreon
the videos I do with her actually get posted on to the Crinks TV channel. Like both of the times that we did we need to go deeper on there. The latest video that we did together was Cry of Fear.
That's right.
Yeah, there was a lot of screaming and so forth going on.
And the
with that one.
inspirational music jumping.
Yes, that's it exactly. I still owe her for that one. God.
Oh god, it sounds like you're having a fun time with that, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figure we do. We'll try to. I'll try the format of Anime Watch Club or Mechanic Tuesdays because I'm not gonna lie, Watch Club actually is doing phenomenally well, and I'm actually surprised with it. And it's not doing as good as the first 2 or 3 episodes did. And for reference, I've been doing Anime Watch Club doing Rising of the Shield Hero. And for anyone who hasn't seen that, I implore you to go watch it because it is actually worthwhile of a show and it is just continuously getting better. Now, the show, the people that come in to watch it, I will say are critics, big critics, because we're talking about Gen Max, Lo-Fi, and Tyro here.
And we can also look at the fact that, again, you said the first 3 episodes were the only ones that did good, and I was the only one in those episodes.
Yeah, I gotta hand out Starwind. But
see what happens when I play Destiny 2 in the background and make commentary at the same time?
Yeah. You need to jump back into those.
I know, but I've been just every time Anime Watch Clubs come up, I'm in the middle of something and I can't get away from it.
Block, you dumb son of a bitch. Shoot him. What the fuck is going on here? Are you commenting on the anime or what you're doing? Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a me answer.
No, I fully expect.
Just be glad I don't do the
if only
Destiny 2 when we're doing that kind of stuff.
So I can see someone going through and playing Destiny 2, and he's playing, he's doing good, and he's got all this good shit, and he comes up against the end boss, and he just gets wrecked because he stops to comment on Watch Club what's going on, and all of a sudden you hear this.
Did anyone get the number of that bitch?
Oddly enough, that is not as wild, crazy, and verbose as I would think. That happening to him on a final boss would actually be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like anyone get the number of that bitch.
I expected more of an R2D2 level of bleeping.
What do you mean?
If
R2D2 screaming.
yeah, if we were to edit what he was saying with beeps, it would sound like R2D2. You know, censoring.
Pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, here on Sparky's Set Corner, I don't really censor that much. So
It's like what's the joke I heard? R2D2 is the most foul-mouthed character ever because they bleep everything he says.
Everything he says, yeah.
Yep.
I have heard that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so that seems like that's gonna be the plan. Is we're gonna do an anime watch club, and again, anyone's open to jump in. It's gonna be in the Discord, same thing that I always do. I'll put in the links for the hangouts and for Rabbit. You must have Rabbit. So KG, I'll shoot you a link, and you might as well set up an account.
All right, sounds good.
And we'll do that Tuesday, probably around. I'll say the same time that we do this to begin with. So expect to jump in around 8, 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 6, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific.
7 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific time. So, and you can come in, chat with us, and we'll sit down and we'll commentate over Project A.I.C.O. Like I said, if you expect to come in and just sit down and it's got to be all nice and quiet and we're going to watch the show.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's like I said, this is going to be Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Mystery Anime 3000.
And we'll sit down, we'll talk about it, and we'll commentate over it. And we'll go from there, see what happens. And then when we do the actual MechAniTuesdays, because like I said, it's set for every other week, we'll talk about the show in general without the distractions and just the usual format that we've been doing. On that note, I'm still working on backgrounds. I'm still planning on doing OBS for MechAniTuesdays. I've got to get a chance to have a lot more free time so I can finish up the backgrounds. I haven't made a lot of progress, but I've got pretty much all the cells set to what I want. I just got to paint them, do animations, get them set in, and kind of get everything set up how I want it, and then program it into OBS.
KG.
So,
yeah.
If we're talking about the free time, I'd say it's probably about as rare as getting a legendary drop in Borderlands. Sound about right?
Yeah.
Free time is not a thing.
Nah, most of my free time is I get back to the apartment, I have something to eat, I build an arm or a leg, I go to sleep, repeat. But if all goes according to plan, after we are physical inventory on Saturday, I'm going to be going to my folks' place for the weekend, and there's a possibility of seeing Endgame.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually me and Captain Hook's gonna be watching Dragons sometime soon. The
How to Train Your Dragon?
movie. Yep. Yeah, the third movie's on theaters.
I've heard it's really good. Bring tissues.
Yeah, I know. Well, I heard the same thing with the second one.
Yeah.
There's a reason why for the second one. Well, we'll find out. So it ought to be a good show. It ought to be a good movie. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end it out. I think it's a good time to end it out. So thanks for watching. You can watch Club. It's usually premieres Friday. I'm still working on trying to get other episodes edited for Sparky and Someone. I should have an episode out by next week if everything goes good. And I'm still, I know I still gotta get into the habit of getting them done.
I almost jokingly said next month, but in about a week or so, it'd be next month anyway. So
everyone's a credit. It'll be out before next month. It'll be out on the 29th.
Sweet.
On the 30th at 11:59, it posts.
Shut up, KG.
Better late than never.
Nothing but love, brother.
I know, man. I know. But yeah, catch Anime Watch Club. Catch Sparky and Soulwind. Next time I post it. And I'm gonna be having 2 new channels out. I've already got them renamed. So as soon as I get all my equipment from a microscope in, I'll be doing a couple board repairs and a couple solder jobs that I've been putting off. But that's whenever I finally get the microscope set up. So that's probably going to be another month or 2 down the road. And the third channel is going to be a truck repair channel. So I'm going to be going over information, tips, tricks, and how-tos on semis on that third channel.
Which half?
And
You said semi. Which half?
trucks.
Oh.
Semi
The
trucks.
half that's not a smartass. Gotcha.
So it'll be Sparky's truck corner.
Yeah.
Sparky's truck corner.
Sparky's truck repair, I believe, is the name I changed it to. And on this one, this is primarily going to be a gaming and anime channel. So it's just a lot of stuff I've got to move around and redo and all that other good stuff. But it's all going to be underneath the Sparky's Tech Corner name.
Sweet.
So with that, you can catch KG either here or over on Quinks's TV. I will post a link down in the comments and in the descriptions in this video for it. Go give them a watch, give them a like, and go sub to them. And when you do, just tell them Sparky sent you. So with that, thank you, KG. Thank you, Stallone, for joining me on another marvelous MechAniTuesdays. And hopefully we'll have And hopefully we'll have fun during a watch club on Project A.I.C.O. and then talking about it later on.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, take care, everyone.
Good night.
Later.